Hey guys, welcome back to Rossoneri TV. I'm Gio, and I'm here for another fan reaction for the match between Milan and Udinese, which ended 2-0. I'm with Adamo Ritaco. Sir, another great result this time around. Of course, 2-0 win after 5 consecutive matches where we didn't pick up any points there. So, finally, what did you make of today's performance from Milan? Did you see any positives? Just as a whole, what did you think about?
Well, I think there's many positives, especially the defense. Mexes and Rami did very well today. Now with Mexes, being paid $4 million, you expect that something like this should be an everyday occurrence. But I'm happy that he's really showing his form, and I think his issue is when he gets the instinct to move up the striker and then he can't move back because he doesn't have the speed to do so. Yeah, so good thing he's not doing that anymore. He's actually performing well with Rami. Overall, I think the whole team was solid. Menez with that fantastic goal near the end, and I just think it was a good performance by everybody.
Yeah, and speaking about Menez, the guy now has 7 goals so far this season. Of course, he's getting much criticism because many of those goals come from the penalty spot. But still, the guy's putting in the goals, he's putting on the work, and he's for sure, most probably, going to hit the double digits this season. What do you make of his performance? Of course, 2 goals coming in today, but so far this season, really, has he been the player you were expecting, or has he done more than what your expectations were, really?
Well, I think he's done a lot more than I expected because at PSG, he had a decent start at PSG when he first arrived, but then he started dimming down a lot. They barely ever played him, and of course, let him go for free to Milan. So I'm very, very pleased with how he's been, considering he's a free transfer. Some games you could say, yeah, he's a bit selfish, but as long as he's scoring goals, I don't mind that he's selfish. Plus, he's kind of dimmed down a little bit. I guess maybe Inzaghi even will talk to him or something. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with Menez.
Of course, today we saw the return of Montolivo just for a few minutes there. What do you think Inzaghi? What do you think are Inzaghi's plans really for this midfield? Of course, there's a lot of thinking beyond it because really there's a lot of midfielders which could get a starting role in this team. But what do you think Inzaghi's thinking about now that Montolivo's finally back in the lineup?
Well, I think he's gonna eventually have to start. He's our captain. He's finally back from that terrible, terrible injury he suffered at the World Cup. And yeah, so with Montolivo, I think he brings a whole nother dynamic to the play. Playmaker, can do crazy passes, and is pretty much what we need in this midfield. Because a lot of times the midfield has been lacking pace. If you don't have pace, you need to at least be able to pass the ball. So with Montolivo coming back, I think it's very positive. Hopefully, he does play him much more than many people would expect.
Yeah, and just some final words now on a bit on the defense. I know you talked a bit about it at the beginning, but really, finally we kept the clean sheet. I guess it's something positive to look forward to, and I hope for many more clean sheets in the future. But really, what I enjoyed about Milan's defense today is that even though we had so much control and the defense was barely tested, in the last minutes there, Milan, especially Mexes, was able to make some miraculous interceptions there. And really, it's good to see that they're always alert, at least what we saw in this game. What do you think in the future games? Do you think this defense could really keep it up? And what do you think about this rotation of defenders all the time? Do you think we should stay fixed to one or just rotate as we've always been doing in the past few games?
Well, I think it's better that you stay fixed to one natural center back pairing that you're used to. It could be either Rami and Alex. It could be Rami Mexes. It could be Alex Mexes. You could even fit Zapata in there sometimes. But I like it when it's more of a solid pairing. Then they get used to each other. They know how each other play. And they build a chemistry. So whenever something goes wrong, then you know where the other player will be and how they will perceive the upcoming danger. So I think it's better when they solidify a defense. But for now, with Rami and Mexes, they've been doing fantastic. So if we did stick with them and sometimes throw Alex in there, maybe he can get a starting role. I'm completely fine with that.
Well said, well said. Of course, guys, a very difficult run of games coming up ahead, but this result was definitely needed for Milan. Thank you, Adamo, for joining me. Of course, guys, don't forget to follow him on Twitter at Adamo Ritaco. That's all for me. This has been Gio from Rossoneri TV signing off. And as usual, Forza Milan!